Hello everyone, this is Crota gonna give you a shoutcast from a 2v2 game between me and Gifted versus, and this is gonna be Digital and BlizzBean. So it is gonna be in fact a Terran versus Terran here on Shakuras Plateau. I think that's how you say it. I don't have the map in front of me, so hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Anyways, the new patch has really shown just a lot of Terran love, so on this particular matchup hopefully we'll see a very good balance, and we'll see how well the Terrans are able to play and really just able to mass units a little bit more compared to the original. Right now we have an SCV now going out and going to go ahead and build a supply depot here on this front door. Now this is specifically a 2v2 map only. Now if you look over here, I'm going to be building, there's two ramps that go down. There's a ramp that goes down here and a ramp that goes down here. So instead of trying to just build a ramp on this tighter front door, on this tighter ramp, I'm building it down here on the second location in order to try to just perhaps set up an expansion a little bit more and be able to have guards in the correct position right now. Meanwhile, BlizzBean on the other hand, setting up a supply depot, getting another supply depot, and pretty much trying to get that front door up and running as well. And meanwhile over here, Digital's at the same time getting that front door as well. So everyone pretty much trying to do the same exact strategy. I am getting a barracks now. I'm going to close off this wall with an additional 2 supply depots, and that's going to be it for this particular game. Gifted normally scouts out when his second supply depot is done, so that's a little bit different than my typical strategy. And I think in normal 1v1 games, that's going to be a little bit later than normal. You really need to figure out as a Terran player what your opponent is going. If you don't know what your opponent is going, you really can't build the correct counter units. That's really how I've been playing Terran recently, trying to figure out if it's fast expansions, Reapers, Stalkers, and just trying to build off of that. Terrans right now still feels like you're trying to counter off your opponent's units just a little bit more and then trying to counter the counter unit that you just built. So figuring that out. Barracks, everyone pretty much joined on that same barracks. Taking a look at my base right now, I have a single refinery as opposed to Digital. Digital currently running with 2 refineries. Gonna go ahead and bring up that unit overlay, so everyone pretty much the same. BlizzBean sitting on only 13 SCVs, Digital sitting on 15. I'm sitting, or Gift sitting on 16, and I'm sitting on 15 as well. I have a single Marine that is currently out and trying to hold this front door just in case any other units really try to press out, but I think that Marine was pretty useless. I didn't really need to create that Marine as, excuse me, as, yeah, there's just really no need for it. If a Marauder came up or another Marine came up, I could just sit there and easily repair it. I do in fact have a tech lab on my barracks and now producing an additional Marine. Should probably be trying to tech some Marauders, and now I'm getting down that factory. In this particular matchup, I was trying to figure out what the strategy is going to be. My partner, Gifted, now quickly loses his SCV and getting taken down, and now we have a single Reaper now moving out. No barracks, or I suspect a proxy or a new. So here it goes out with that one single Reaper, and that Reaper now running along that north-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and jump back down. So Reaper is very strong on this particular map right now. One thing to note, Reapers cannot jump a double cliff. I think when looking at this particular map right here, if you notice, this is a double cliff. There is, it's so high, I don't believe a single Reaper can really jump down it at this point. Currently I have 2 Marines down. I do not have any Marauders in play. Getting down a tech lab right now and getting down that starport. Gifted on the other hand, down here, getting up a triple barracks right here. So it's going to be a triple barracks build and a single bunker on that front end. Those 2 Reapers now trying to come in, and those Reapers will not be able to really push in at this point in the game. And those Reapers just gonna go ahead and jump up this cliff and then jump up that cliff. So jumps up and then jumps up again, and I see those Reapers and I'm like, oh, I do not have the units to really counter these Reapers right now. And in come those Reapers. Digital trying to shoot down these units. SCV is trying to come off the line in order to try to deal that damage towards those Reapers. Reapers are very low hit point units, so very easy to take down. I lose 1 SCV so far. I do in fact have my orbital command, and now units once again getting stuck over there as those Reapers, and now are we going to have those Reapers try to come back up No, Reapers are not trying to come back up. A little bit surprised about that. 3 Reapers now perhaps going to try to come back up into this particular base and try to take it down. But I have a single siege tank in, and is trying to guard that position right there. And now I'm getting a single Marauder as well. I should probably move that Marauder into that position and try to shoot it down. Marauder's now trying to shoot it down and not able to get down that last Reaper. There's a scan over there trying to get those units down, and now he's going to go ahead and try to take down this tech lab. This tech lab getting destroyed by those D8 charges. Single siege tank now coming out trying to shoot down those units, and that siege tank, a pretty good counter towards those units right there, as that siege tank does 15 plus 10 damage versus armored, quickly shooting down that Reaper. So I traded 3 Reapers for a tech lab, and I would gladly do that again. Now getting that starport, and I'm going to start trying to mass some Banshees in just a second. Quick, another orbital scan. I am taking my natural expansion in order to get more gas enabling me to just get more Banshees and produce more units faster. Banshees are an expensive unit, 100 gas and 150 minerals, so that's like the old cost of a siege tank. Yes, old cost of a siege tank. Single Reaper now sitting down here, not really pushing in right now. Digital, the SCV counts are 19, Gifted has 19, I have 21, BlizzBean has 16, and finally Digital, at 20. Both players just massing up a lot of Marines. And now we also have Marines and Marauders trying to push in as well. So I have 2 Marauders on my front door, and that is pretty much it. My army size is not large enough to really push this back. I have a single siege tank, and trying to look for that siege tank, and I also have some Marauders and some Marines sitting on that bunker over there, just in case he tries to push in once more. That siege tank sitting right here on that high ground. I do not have siege tech, not researching right now, and I'm thinking, okay, if I have this siege tank sitting right here, I can perhaps shoot down any units. And now here comes that siege tank trying to focus on some of these units. Marines trying to shoot in as well. Marines trying to come up. Marines getting choked up a little bit right here, losing a couple more Marines. So that siege tank has 5 kills. Marauders coming over here trying to finish off the rest of this fight here, and those Marines able to just start shooting down. Going to lose those Marines. More Marauders still being produced right now, and still a couple Marauders from Digital just sitting back here. Gifted now coming in to try to offer a hand, as I'm not able to move any additional units over. Single siege tank with 5 kills now going to come in and try to wrap up the rest of this fight. More units, Gifted now finally moving in, taking off the rest of these Marines and Marauders, and here I am able to push back this attack force. 8 kills on this 1 siege tank, so very, very nice positioning. And Gifted now just moving out with an army of Marines. Marines, no medevacs yet, and currently has a starport with a reactor, so we'll be able to start massing up some medevacs in just a moment. Factory as well, and we have Gifted now trying to take the center map. The center map, building up a bunker in order to try to just push these units back. No one really removing these destructible rocks in the back of this base right now. So kind of interesting to see how this game continues to run on. BlizzBean does not have an orbital command. Digital has an orbital command, but has been using more scanner sweeps than mules. There is a single mule, but I think that's the first or perhaps second mules that he's called down. Couple barracks in here, starports, and factories, getting that weapon upgrade on that engineering bay in order to get an additional +1 shot. Marines sitting here, Marines getting an additional range in sight, and now quickly trying to fire back against these Marauders and those Marines sitting in the middle of the map. And those Marauders just trying to get into sight, and because we're fighting right behind those plants right there, he's unable to get sight, and he has to get within range of both of those bunkers. Now I also have a single Banshee up in the air, so that single Banshee working out pretty well as well. It needs to unload that SCV in order to start repairing. Probably turn on the auto repair would probably be a good move at this point. Also getting an additional bunker on that top hand side, that this poor SCV pushing all those Marines around, as we have a single bunker. Right now I have a single or two Banshees going to go ahead and just try to take down these Reapers, and I'm thinking, okay, let me just use these use these Banshees. I don't want to go overboard, and I'll see what they counter and if they're able to counter any of this. We also have a medevac now moving out. That medevac healing up a lot of Digital units, and there's two Marines, 1 Marauder, and a siege tank. So that's a very, very sizable force now getting into position right now. And Gifted is now holding that center ground. If he's able to hold this center ground very, very well, then it's gonna cause some problems right here. It does in fact have siege tech, so that siege tech is gonna cause a little bit of an issue for these bunkers. trying to fight these back right here. And that single siege tank just dealing a lot of that damage. More Marines trying to come in. Me, on the other hand, here comes a flock of Banshees. And as Banshees have been just able to take down a lot of those units, those kills, 4 kills, 2 kills, 5 kills, just focusing down this. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to take down this orbital command. And I'm like, you know what, maybe I should just deal damage towards SCVs and just destroy as many units perhaps and actually draw some blood. Stay tuned for part 2 and the conclusion of this replay between Gifted, Crota, Digital, and BlizzBean here on this particular map, which I forgot.